When it comes to filmmaking, I think that I've made the error of letting frugality dictate too many things about the tools that I use and how I tackle on certain problems. When I first started out, didn't have a lot of money to invest in equipment. So I got really good at hacking together and making the tools that I did have access to do more for me. Now, the results weren't always repeatable or reliable, but it got to the point where I was able to confidently take on more complex and different kinds of assignments, like being able to use a Canon DSLR with a limited record limit to film a 1-hour comedy special, or hacking together an A6000 with an external recorder and battery to film a week-long festival. And, at the times I was always very happy that I had figured it out. I'd figured out how to make this low-cost thing do more for me. And that was an absolutely great mentality to have starting off, because it means that my financial means didn't get in the way of my creativity. And I learned how to do a lot of cool stuff, and also have met a lot of people because of this, a lot of really cool people. But I got to the point where once I started trying to pursue more of my own interest in filmmaking, my own frugality was kind of a hamper. As in, these systems and tools that I had developed were cumbersome. They held me back. They weren't reliable. And I hate to say that because of that, there are some ideas that I had just a year ago that just fell by the wayside because the way I was approaching it, or at least trying to approach these challenges for myself in the same way that I always had, it just is too much. Like, I'll give you a brief example. Like, I really wanted to shoot like a documentary series about other artists and how they operate, and not just like art and design or visual, but any kind of performer, anyone, a kind of creative. And a good buddy of mine, Isaiah, he's also an illustrator. He's a really good illustrator. He's very passionate, very dedicated, and he was cool enough to let me into his home and into his studio and document everything that he was doing. And we tried this out for an evening, and I remember he was surprised on how much crap I showed up with. I had, at the time, the best lenses that I could afford were vintage lenses, but they were heavy. They weren't always the most reliable in certain lighting conditions. My audio setup was all over the place, and I was like, this is a trusted friend, so it's cool for me to just take out all my junk and try to, basically take over his living room with like all my gear setup. But it's not something that I'm going to be able to do in a stranger's home if I want to keep doing this. And like I said, it sucks that I kind of lost motivation, not just because of that. There's other projects that came up in 2018 that took more of my attention. But I hated the fact that for my own personal projects, the tools that I had got in my way. And, it had been hard for a long time to justify spending some of that kind of money that I knew I needed to spend. But over time, I realized that those are investments in me. And if I wasn't willing to make these investments in me, then I don't think that I would grow. Because if the tools are in my way, then I wasn't making work. If I wasn't making work, then I wasn't learning. If I wasn't learning, then I'm staying stagnant. And that's why I kind of started consolidating and looking at all the tools that I use. And I didn't really get rid of a lot. It's more of still, trying to stay frugal. I'm still learning how to use certain things more efficiently, but more so in investing in tools that can do more with less. What I mean by that is, like, right now, I'm currently shooting this on a Panasonic GH5. It is an amazing 4K camera, and I'm recording this in 1080p. Second, I'm running my audio directly into it. And this is one of the cheap holdouts that I kept from like my frugal days, which is this awesome little preamp. So you can see it right here. That has an XLR input. And I'm running that into the camera directly, and I already set my levels ahead of time. So now I'm getting high quality audio from this microphone, into it, so I don't have to think about a second device. I'm thinking about slating. It's already in there. I gotta do some minor clerical correcting, and the file is done. I think that this, what I have in front of me, is kind of the culmination of something that I've been trying to do, is that I can produce something that looks just as good, sounds just as good, with less crap. And that'll translate to, hopefully in the future, me being able to confidently say yes to more things that come my way, because I'm no longer thinking of, okay, well, I gotta charge all the batteries for the monitor, and like, I gotta see how I can rig out this cage better, and I don't know if the Sony's gonna overheat on me in there with this lens. But like, no, I'm sick of that. I really want to make more stuff. Another thing I'll touch on later is just that another positive thing in 2018 was, I've always known this, but realizing that good work does not happen in a vacuum. And I can't make cool stuff by myself. I can, but it's better with other people. And I've been part of a few different communities of filmmakers and actors. And this year I've embraced more of those groups and done more with them. And as a result, I've gotten some cooler stuff in my portfolio, or just things that I'm, not just my portfolio for getting more work, but just things that I'm proud of and I'm happy to show other people. And I want to continue doing more of that. And one of the ways that will make that easier for myself is if what I'm bringing to the table, or the tools and skills that I'm bringing, are not getting in our way. But yeah, that's it for today. I wanted to keep today simple, but I feel like I rambled on for a while, and that's okay. I don't know how many of you are actually watching anything yet, but y'all have a good day. Talk to you tomorrow.